So everyone else has sort of shared some of their stories of what their first reaction was when they were asked to speak. And my first reaction was, well, I first am going to need to do some thinking about what holy means to me. It's not actually a word that I typically use. And I wasn't intending to share this, but I will. Some of my background and my spirituality, I grew up in a family with a very strong women's tradition of spirituality that was non-traditional. There was some connection to the church, but I didn't grow up with that type of strong connection, and I separated myself pretty young from church. And I think, the word holy for me still was connected with church. And other words, that I've, thought of or used, spiritual, sacred. So the tradition that of what I believe, and so the process I went through when I was asked to speak was, so what does holy mean then to me, and putting it into my words. And part of my personal belief system, my first and immediate thought of, the question of what's holy to me is, well, everything is holy to me. My personal belief system is that everything is part of God and spirit in the bigger picture. Even those things that maybe on the surface or on the physical level seem unholy. And so that was my first answer to the question. Well, everything to me is holy. But my heart also knew that there was something deeper, there was something more than that, and something paradoxical about holiness, and that for me, everything is holy in an eternal and inherent way, and in the human and earthly experience, holiness is also relative and becoming. That it's a place and state of being that becomes embodied, it becomes lived, it becomes experienced in conscious and intentional ways. And it's a process of bringing forth our highest selves and our truth and the union of physical and spiritual. So that's to me what's holy. And on that level, the deeper or the examples of what I'm experiencing in that way of what's holy to me in my life right now. To me, holy is the experience that I have during and after meditation, in which I aspire to maintain as much as possible in my everyday life. A feeling of being filled with spiritual energy, infusing into my whole being and my whole self, and that's also part of the reason that I've been drawn to this space, because I feel that here as well. Holy to me are the moments of snuggling with my son as he goes to sleep at night, just being with him, paying attention to his breathing, feeling his skin, and not just thinking about other things or waiting for him to go to sleep, though I do a lot of that sometimes too. The physical embodiment of presence and love. Holy for me was the moment yesterday of going bike riding with my family, being outdoors and feeling the wind and the sun, moving my body, being fully present and together, family and community, and that togetherness is holy to me. Holy was last weekend. I had the opportunity to travel and spend some time with some really good friends in Minnesota. And that kind of deep friendship where you're able to share your whole self and tell your truth, deeply connect, support each other, also challenge each other to grow and bring your highest self forward, that's holy to me. Many of you probably don't know this. I work at a nonprofit organization locally. I'm the director there. I would say holy to me was an experience, on one hand, it seemed really mundane. The administrative part's not usually the most inspiring things to me, but I had the opportunity recently of choosing a health insurance plan for my employees. And honestly, there was holiness in choosing that, because the joy of being able to do my best, to be able to support them so that they can come forth and do their best in their work, that's holy to me. Holy is being true to myself, my values, being persistent and moving forth in spite of barriers to promote social change. This year, it was staying on a path for justice and equality for immigrant students. and fighting for their ability to access a college education, having equal access to scholarships, and equal tuition rates at KCC. That work is holy to me. Holy is paying attention and heeding the subtle messages and signs from my body and from my intuition. Those feelings and thoughts that sometimes in the back of my head, paying attention, like when it told me it was time to go to Minnesota, there was some type of learning and connection I needed to do there. That's holy to me. And then even again, into some of the seemingly mundane everyday experiences. Washing my son's cloth diapers, that's holy to me. Yeah, they're dirty, they're smelly. I'm blessed with a very poor sense of smell. But it's holy to me because it's part of my intentional choices of the lifestyle that I want to live. And there's an intentionality and consciousness there. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share.